Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review on a new foundation. The foundation I'm going to be doing a review on is the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. This is fairly new. Of course there's 1,000 videos on it already. I picked up the shade 360 and this claims to be up to 24 hours, but I'm not going to wear it for 24 hours. I do plan on doing a short little wear test, maybe about 5 to 7 hours. I'll see how long I can keep it on. This is a full coverage foundation, up to 24-hour wear, seamless matte finish, breathable, comfortable, fade and transfer resistant, oil free, dermatologist tested. Here's a swatch of it on my hand again. This was slightly a little bit too cool tone for me, but I just went with it. I am more golden olive tone, but with the power of makeup, I just made it work. I do want to say that this is the darkest shade, and as you can see, I am not that dark. So as far as like shade expansion, whatever, blah blah blah, I'm hoping just like they have the Maybelline Fit Me, they'll expand the shades for this one. First thing I'm going to do is prime my face with my Too Faced Hangover X primer. And I'm using this primer because this is more of a moisturizing primer. And the foundation I'm going to be using is matte. Now I'm going to go in with my foundation. As I said before, my shade is 360. So I'm going to do half and half. I'm going to blend one side with a brush and one side with a sponge. So off the bat, you can already tell that this is a little bit too cool tone for me. It's not that bad, but you can see the orange on, like, you can just see that it's really orange. I would probably just use this with a brush first and then go back with a sponge over everything instead of choosing either, or I would just do both. So the brush is going to provide a smooth base, it's going to give you that full coverage. And then when you go back in with the sponge, it's going to, get any excess foundation off of your face, and then it's also going to smooth out any like brush strokes that are left on your face or anything like that. Now I'm going to start with my concealer. Today I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery concealer. My shade is Your Beautiful. Now for my under eye, I'm going to set it with my Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Yellow. Now I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder in Medium Deep to set the rest of my face. now I'm going to contour using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. Everything went on pretty nice. This is full coverage. I did really like it. This is a fairly matte foundation, so you are not going to need as much powder as you think. We could slightly compare this to the Fenty. So I'm going to compare it to the Fenty. Even my Fenty shade was also a little bit too cool toned. But as far as the application goes, the Super Stay is not going to be drying as fast as Fenty did when you put it on. You don't have to work really fast. But for both foundations, not as much powder is needed. Like when I put on my Fenty foundation for the first time, I put on a lot of powder. I think I'm just going to have to set this foundation, and I didn't really need to. And for the Super Stay, I would say a light layer of powder is fine. But as far as going in and baking, especially if you have dry skin, that's a no-go. And I'm just going to see if any oil broke through and how much. The areas I'm going to focus on are my nose, and then like right here where I have larger pores, and also right here in the mouth area because I do tend to crease right there from smile lines. Keep in mind that I still have dry skin for right now, so only those areas are oily. So yeah, I'll be back in a few hours to show you guys. First thing I want to talk about is that I overset the foundation. I just used way too much powder. And the combination that I used, I also used the Beauty Bakery concealer, and then I used the powder on top of that. And this combination is just more of a summer foundation routine for me because my skin is still dry right now. So right here I just had like my eye would water, but then once the water like set right here, it would get crusty. So I was just a little bit too dry, too matte. So I just basically used too much powder. As far as my nose goes, I barely showed any oil. This is like moderate. This isn't even bad at all, like compared to other things that I've experienced, because my nose is extremely oily. In this area right here, it is a little like you can start to see my pores a little bit, like it's just started to separate. But I do like, you know, dab this area a lot, so that could have probably been a factor in why it looks like that right now. I didn't experience any of the creasing where my smile lines are, so that's really good. I actually really like this foundation. It turned out to be really great. Next time I probably wouldn't set it so much. I would probably just focus on my nose and my drier areas and just, you know, do a light setting. Overall, the foundation is good. It held up for about 7 hours. Of course, it does claim to be 24 hours, so I'm sure this is like nothing. But the only thing I will say is I wish that there were more like warm, neutral tones kind of thing. Like it just seems like anytime Maybelline comes out with foundation, it's only cool tone. I mean, that's cool, like people can work with it, but expand that. Thank you guys for tuning in again. I hope you guys enjoyed this foundation review. If you do like foundation reviews, make sure you go check out my NARS foundation review and my Fenty foundation review, and I will talk to you guys later. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.